Next, the promise of not this. The mind loves a shiny exit sign. Next video, next job, next body, next version of you that finally has it together. Not this, it whispers, something slightly to the right of reality. Meanwhile, life only loads as this page. Refresh all you want, same page, new ads. Here's the twist, when you stop outsourcing peace to next, this stops being a waiting room. Sound, breath, feeling, already complete. Let next knock, you don't have to answer. Irony, when you're not escaping, change happens faster. Because you're finally here. Why the need for a next, and that next to be at least better than now? Why the only trick that does it when you feel low is a mental construct, a figment of your imagination of a better next that is believed to be true? A very important aspect, because if the mind does not believe it possible, the trick fails. Ah, the noble arrow, forever leaping toward some grand next, so sure of its trajectory, so wrong about where it actually ends up. Tell me, when was the last time your life followed the exact path you drew for it? No, won't answer. I already know. Never. We are all a bit like this arrow, aren't we? Convinced that if we just aim harder, believe harder, we'll finally stick the landing. But the river doesn't care about landings. It doesn't even have a to-do list. Be water, my friend, they say. And yet here you are, trying to be a spreadsheet. You want to know why the mind clings to next? Because it's terrified of what happens when it stops. If I'm not improving, then what am I doing? It shrieks, like a cat realizing it's been sitting in an empty box for an hour. But here's the joke. You are not your to-do list. You are not even your thoughts. You are the weird, wild silence underneath them, the one currently wondering if this voice is ever going to get to the point. You noticed that, didn't you? The droplet missed, and yet the sky isn't having an existential crisis about it. Maybe next time I'll aim better, says no cloud ever. But you replay your mistakes like they're Oscar-worthy performances, best overthinker in a leading role. The mind loves its tricks. Imagine a brighter future, it whispers like a shady salesman peddling invisible upgrades. And if you don't believe it, panic. Then I'll be stuck here forever, it wails, as if here is a prison and not just this breath, this breeze, this inexplicable fact that your nose is always in your field of vision, but you've learned to ignore it. But here's what's funnier than your nose. The moment you stop trying to fix the present, it starts to feel lighter, not because anything changed, just because you stopped arguing with it, like finally unclenching a fist you didn't realize you were holding. And what's left? Nothing sacred, nothing profound, just the absurd, obvious, ordinary miracle of being here at all. So go ahead, let the mind scream its to-do lists. Let the arrow of your ambitions land in a bush. The river isn't impressed. It never was. It's too busy being what it is, moving, but never in a hurry to arrive. And neither are you, really. You just forgot to laugh at the script you wrote for yourself. Quick test. Try to stop hearing this sentence. Didn't work, right? Perfect. You just brushed up against non-duality. No robes, no incense, no pop quiz, just you, reality, and fewer mental confetti cannons.
Each piece represents a fleeting thought, a momentary distraction. Notice how they never truly reach.
If your attention span is a goldfish on espresso, you're wildly qualified. This is a clear, slightly different tour of non-duality for people who don't have time for mystical gymnastics. We'll keep it practical, we'll keep it ordinary, we'll keep it honest, and a little rude where helpful. So what are we actually pointing at? Experience doesn't arrive as me in here versus world out there. That's how we talk. Language is scissors, but life shows up as one courtyard. Footsteps, air, colors, aches and thoughts, all at once, already mingling. You don't shelve reality in separate pantries with a tiny dumbwaiter in between. One courtyard, extra gates optional. Picture a tree line at dusk. Crickets take attendance, air cools your cheeks. Where exactly does forest stop and evening start? A map will swear it knows. The breeze disagrees. Experience is more weather and dinner smells than blueprint and tape measure. Why should you care? Because running the world's most exhausting parade float called me is loud and sticky. The float wants to be adored, photogenic, forever 25, dramatically backlit. It keeps a backstage drum line going. Comparison, defensiveness, anxiety, and a scavenger hunt for a future you that will finally be enough. That racket eats your snacks. When the me versus world fence softens, even a little, room opens up. You still wash dishes, pay taxes, and attend family meetings that should have been a polite nod. But the inner friction drops. It's like emptying 87% of the attic without changing houses. This is not a belief you adopt. It's a seeing thing, not a believing thing. Not numbness. You don't become a potted cactus silently judging the room. If anything, care turns up because the thin paper wall between me and you keeps dissolving. Not emotional perfection. Feelings still happen, they just don't need a marching band. Not passivity. When melodrama quiets, action gets cleaner. Less flailing, more doing. Let's look directly, right now. Notice the most boring sound in your space. An ancient radiator, a fridge whisper, distant tires pretending to be waves. Notice your feet or your seat, pressure, temperature, fabric conspiring. Notice a thought trying to narrate this, doing it right, doing it wrong, this is interesting and I hate that. Now check, where's the border between you and those? Not the idea of a border, find the edge. Can you locate the line where you ends and sound begins? Can you find the fence between you and the sensation of your seat? Anything to point to? If not, that's the point. One field. The little town official you imagine. Some tiny mayor stamping approvals on each sensation. Mostly a title with no town. Since buzzwords give hives and jargon doesn't help much here, let's switch to pictures your senses already understand. The next images aren't lessons to memorize, they're invitations to notice what's already happening. As you hear them, don't analyze, just see which one lands in your body. If even one clicks, Keep it as a pocket reminder. For the week, try these instead. 1. Mountain weather. Clouds bully the ridge. Sunlight strolls in late. Mist drifts like it owns the place. 5 forecasts in 10 minutes. The mountain doesn't file complaints. Feelings are weather. You're the part that doesn't need an umbrella. Yes, dramatic clouds think they're the main character. They're not. Two, violin tuning. Before a concert, everyone leans toward the same A. Awareness is that steady note. Thoughts like strings go sharp or flat. Awareness doesn't. You don't build it, you notice you're already hearing it. 3. Shadow on the wall. Candle shifts, shadow stretches. You can argue with the shadow or adjust the flame. Adjusting wins. 4. River and boat. Row against the current and feel noble. Or notice the current and angle the oar. Same arms, fewer splashy sermons. 5. Pottery Wheel. Press hard and the clay collapses. Press lightly and it centers itself like it always knew how. Gentle attention outperforms aggressive control. 6. Orchard ladder. Climb to pick fruit. The ladder helps. You don't then marry the ladder and defend it online. The me story is a tool, useful, not ultimate. 7. Campfire Chorus. 10 voices, 1 song. Some verses are off key. The fire doesn't resign. Warmth makes room for all of it, including your friend chasing a harmony he can't reach. Tiny experiments for today. 1. Bus stop thoughts. Wait for your next thought like you're waiting for a late bus. Did you schedule it? Or did it lurch up on its own? Gum on the tires. 2. Hearing without a hearer. Listen to a far sound. A bird clipping the air. A car pretending to be a dragon. A lazy fan. Does it arrive inside a you? Or is there just sound, unbothered, happening? 3. Border patrol. Hold up your hand, without labels. Try to find the exact stitch where hand ends and not hand begins. The whole tapestry hangs together. The border is embroidery we add later. 4. Walking as one ribbon. Feet, breath, light, air, one motion. Where's the tiny puppeteer behind the curtain pulling levers? If you find them, please get an autograph. 5. Name tag swap. For 5 seconds, drop your name, roles, and opinions. Just be. Watch how everything still functions. Wild, inconvenient, true. 6. Tea steam. Watch steam rise from a mug. Draw the exact line where steam becomes air. Exactly. We'll wait. Identity blurs like that. Charming, impossible, not a problem. 7. Stone skips. Toss a pebble across a pond. Each skip is a thought. The pond doesn't chase. Adopt the policy. The duck will co-sign. Workaday Life. Half your energy feeds a traveling circus called My Image. Do they like me? Am I winning? Will future me applaud? Retire the ringmaster for a moment. Do the next clear thing. Reality delivers faster than anxiety. Keep the coffee for the smell. Picture a fox crossing fresh snow. Next clean step. No lecture tour about previous poor placements. Relationships. When me versus you loosens, listening stops being waiting to talk. It becomes listening.
I've never felt this way before, this connection. It's unlike anything.
I've never told anyone this, but I feel like I can trust you with anything. You make me feel seen.
Boundaries still exist, obviously. They arise from clarity, not from building a fortress with your eyebrows. No can be a sentence without the internal megaphone. Two people in a canoe. If you both paddle only on the left because left is my truth, you spin in place and call it destiny. Trade sides. Watch the shoreline move. That motion, cooperation, not cosmic betrayal. Anxiety. The body revs. Thoughts sprint. A narrator yells. This is forever. Notice, all of that happens in one open space that isn't panicking. Storms swirl in the sky. The sky doesn't live inside the storm. Treat anxiety like weather. Don't argue with thunder. Wear a jacket. It passes. Ground trick. Feel your heel bones. Heels are famously bad at catastrophizing. Free will. Choices happen. Thoughts present options. Hands move toward coffee or tea. Or that suspicious herbal thing from your neighbor. From the non-dual view, it's one unfolding, not a tiny foreman stamping approvals on micro decisions. This doesn't make you a couch ornament. It removes imaginary paperwork. Responsiveness gets quicker when you're not routing life through a committee called Me and Associates.
This procedural delay is unacceptable. We must act now.
Meaning. You don't need a cosmic mission statement to enjoy breakfast. Meaning shows up in participation, not from a manifesto glued to the sky. Wash the bowl. Text your friend. Plant basil even if snails think it's a buffet. Somehow, that's enough. Ethics. When other people feel less other, kindness stops needing a TED Talk. Hurting you hurts me, hurts us. Not because a rulebook threatened detention, but because the line is thinner than advertised. Compassion becomes default, like switching the heart to night mode. We say, I am aware of the room, like there are two things, an I and a room, connected by awareness like a string between two tin cans. Try this. Awareness and the room. Look closely. Are there two? Or is there just aware room? One seamless happening. If your forehead is wrinkling, drop the riddle solving. This isn't Sudoku, it's noticing. Language is a helpful liar. It keeps shouting I plus verb plus object. Nature rarely bothers. The wind doesn't push the prayer flags. Wind flags happen together. You don't do awareness. Aware life happens. Common traps you can skip. Endless seeking. I'll get it on the next retreat. Maybe. But this moment right here already comes fully assembled.
Exactly what I needed.
I'm glad you came.
Check what's actually missing before outsourcing your piece to a future weekend with complimentary tea. Spiritual bypass. All is one, so your feelings are invalid. No. Wholeness includes grief, therapy, awkward apologies, and snacks. Snacks help more than aphorisms. Making it fancy. Hunting fireworks and rare states. The ordinary is the gold. Dishes are enlightenment with bubbles. Yes, it's unsexy. Yes, it works. Do not stitch that on a pillow. Your couch has suffered enough. New identity. I'm the awakened person now. Congratulations on your invisible trophy. Place it proudly on your imaginary shelf, then sweep the floor. Collector mentality. Counting insights like seashells and then tripping over the pile. Give some back to the beach. The tide will make better use of them than your ego cabinet. 3-minute practice. 0 incense. Maximum sanity. Minute 1. System check. Sit however your body wants. Let gravity do its job. It's free and relentless. Sounds are allowed. Sensations are allowed. Thoughts are allowed. This is not border control. If you catch yourself trying to do awareness, stop volunteering. Awareness isn't a shift you clock into. You don't make seeing happen to see the thing in front of you. Same deal here. Minute 2. 1 display. Let the whole scene be one page. Colors, sounds, pressure, breath, thought. All content. If a thought says doing it right or doing it wrong, recognize it as more content.
Doing it.
No live editing needed. Now look gently. Where is the owner of all this? Don't answer. Check. If you can't find a solid owner, congrats. You just rediscovered the native setting of the human animal. Minute 3. Real-life integration. Bring to mind someone mildly annoying. Not your arch nemesis. We're not auditioning for an origin story. Sense how their feelings are made of the same stuff as yours. Experience appearing. Let even 1% of your defensiveness drop. 1% changes the weather of a conversation. Take one easy breath. That's the whole practice. Candle optional, savings guaranteed. Troubleshooting rapid fire. I got bored. Perfect. Boredom is energy without a plot. Watch it pitch you 3 side quests. You don't have to accept the role. I felt nothing special. Ideal. Non-duality is aggressively ordinary. If you want fireworks, ask a county fair, preferably from a safe distance. I started crying, also perfect. When the inner guard takes a lunch break, the backlog walks out. Let it move, then drink water and text a friend who can spell support. How do I keep this all day? You don't keep it. You stop misplacing it by pausing for 10 seconds, a handful of times a day. Micro resets beat heroic promises. Will this fix my life? No. It makes life less of a villain that needs fixing. Then you can actually fix things. Leaky sink first, the cosmos later. What about goals? Have them. Plant them like trees, not like fireworks. Water, sun, patience. You don't have to glare at the sapling to help it grow. What if I forget? You will. The forgetting is also appearing. Notice that too. Then remember, this loop is legal and embarrassingly human. 5 pocket lines. You're not behind. You were just on airplane mode for the soul. Thoughts are doorbells, not summons. You don't need to be the sky. Just stop suing the weather for existing. Presence isn't a state. It's what every state shows up in. Compassion happens when others starts looking suspiciously like family you forgot you had. For overachievers, if kindness feels too expensive, try a sample size. Silence isn't the absence of sound. It's the space that lets sound be music and complaints be brief. Daily loop, practical, doable. Tiny pauses, 10 seconds, 8 to 10 times today. Call it pocket pause, honest speech. Fewer performance lies equals fewer internal civil wars. Body first. Before replying, feel your feet. It's hard to be dramatic with grounded ankles. One small help. Do something kind with 0 audience. Nothing dissolves the imaginary border faster. Touch the ordinary. Wash a dish, watch a kettle, open a window. If that feels boring, congratulations. You found the door that everyone ignores. The world still works. Because of course it does. Non-duality doesn't cancel practicality. Money remains money. Rent remains rent. Keys still hide in the last place you'll check because they're petty like that. What changes is the density of the narrator. Nerd corner, very short. When attention relaxes from tight self-talk into simple seeing, the brain's self-referencing loop tends to quiet a notch. Fear circuits stop shouting, and flexibility shows up. You don't have to memorize that to benefit, but some of you needed the bridge. calendar with mercy. Leave one square empty per week. Empty isn't failure. Empty is oxygen. Saying no. Say no the way a river says no to a boulder. Go around it and keep going. Conflict rule. Lower your voice, lower your shoulders, lower your expectations of being understood. Raise your willingness to understand. Headline diet. Treat news like chili peppers. A little for flavor. Don't snort it. One more look. Close your eyes for 5 seconds. Yes, now. Hear what you hear. Feel what you feel. Thoughts hop around like sparrows on a porch rail. All of it. One field. No border. No bouncer. Open your eyes. Same field, eyes on. Say it plain. Life is happening as one piece. The me that claims ownership is a helpful sticker, not the owner. Peel lightly and nothing falls apart. Things get simpler. On a bus or train, pick one sound and ride it to silence. Not by force, by noticing where it fades into just hearing. Mid-scroll, every 7th post, look away and find something unpostable. Dust on a windowsill, a crease in your palm. A dog ear on a book. Reality, undefeated. Micro drills for real moments. The bite test, mealtime. Before the first bite, pause 1 heartbeat. Notice smell, shape, color. Gratitude. Then eat like a mammal with manners. The doorway reset. Every time you pass a doorway, exhale 1/2 inch longer than usual. New room, new page. The shoe check. Feel your heels for 2 seconds before sending a text you'll regret. If your heels don't approve, your thumbs shouldn't either. The pocket stone. Keep a small stone or button. When panic spikes, touch it. Label 5 textures around you and let the plot lose its main character. Common Detours, Advanced Edition. Subtle spiritual snobbery. Thinking your calm is morally superior to someone else's chaos. Calm is nice. Humility is nicer. Collector's fatigue. Harvesting quotes and never watering behavior. If your notes app is enlightened, let us know how it does the dishes. Romanticizing suffering. Pain happens, poetry optional. Try ibuprofen, water, a nap, a boundary, and then philosophy, in that order. Over-indexing on witness, turning your life into a surveillance documentary. Participate, the soup still needs stirring. Edge cases and how to meet them. Grief, there's no hack. Let the river move through the room. Feed yourself. Sit with people who remember the same laughter. Anger, treat it like a thunderhead that waters a boundary. Thank it for the data. Build the fence without burning the neighborhood. Shame, watch it try to sell you a smaller life. Decline politely. Offer it soup. Call a friend who doesn't do discounts on your dignity. Envy, it points at something you value. Translate the ache into one doable action today, preferably not buy a yacht. Q&A, round 2. If there's no solid me, who's responsible? The same person who returns the library book, the one the world can find. Looser inside, clear outside. Won't I lose ambition? You might lose performance anxiety in a costume. The part that actually builds things tends to stay and gets better sleep. How do I explain this to my cousin at dinner? Don't. Pass the salt. Offer to do the dishes. People respect the evidence of your calm more than the theory of it. What about romance? See the person, not your movie about them. Compliment reality. It ages better than projection. A few more pocket lines for the road. The mind is a tour guide who gets commission. Tip politely and look around for yourself. Peace isn't hidden, it's just quieter than your favorite noise. The present doesn't need managing, it needs noticing. Kindness is intelligence with good posture.
Night routine for actual humans.
Morning routine for people who hate routines. Sit up, feel your feet land. Congratulations, you've meditated for 2 seconds. Sip water like it's an apology to yesterday. Look out a window before looking into a screen. If the sky is doing anything, note it. If it's doing nothing, note that harder. Pick one value word for the day, e.g., steady, gentle, clear. Try to behave like you meant it. If a relapse into melodrama happens by noon, step outside, even if it's a balcony with suspicious pigeons. Count 7 breaths while looking at something that didn't need your opinion to exist. Text yourself, "Be the hush," then mute yourself for 5 minutes. Final lap. Reality is not a puzzle you solve, it's a porch you sit on. The breeze does what it wants. You don't have to narrate it to enjoy it. If a thought insists you're off track, ask it to show the track. Watch it point at a memory or a fantasy, pat it on the head, continue. Non-duality isn't a secret level you unlock after collecting spiritual coins. It's the default, one seamless page where sight, sound, breath, and thought co-appear. Thanks for being here. Now go do something extremely ordinary, on purpose. Water a plant, boil water, step outside and look at the same sky everyone else gets. If any of this helped, do the smallest kind today and pretend it was your idea, because it is now. Ask a plant how it's doing. It won't answer, which is part of the charm. And if later a thought says, "You lost it," smile again. You can't lose what kept you breathing while you were busy looking for it.